Aaron is so annoying. I you know what? And I was trying to think of something cute. No, Aaron is so annoying. Like,
why would you say that? That is not love.
That's love.
That's not
the fact
love.
that I'm dealing with it. That's love. I think we just got our definition.
Shut up.
What's going on, family? Welcome to Cam's Corner. There is another tie down and wind down with my wife, Erin. And as you can see, we are a little overdressed.
Yes.
But well dressed. We are going to a wedding today, so we thought, why not do a tie down and wind down?
Yeah.
And we have our little cocktail.
Cheers.
She's lit already. But,
Babe, I'm not lit yet. A little wedding pregame. This is delicious.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So good.
Shout out to my first sponsorship. Can't say it yet, I guess, but
yes, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, the cocktail is cocktailing, you know what I mean?
It is really good.
Yeah, it's good. Since we're going to a wedding,
You know what we should talk about?
Yeah, what's up?
Like our favorite parts of our wedding.
Okay.
Or like things maybe that we would change about our wedding. That's not what we plan to talk about, but.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about.
What do you think?
That's cool. I'm down with
No?
that.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to talk about things that we would change or about.
Either like what we loved about it, things maybe we would change or do differently. I don't know. Like wedding talk.
Okay. It's more like
or should we talk about more? Okay. Well, we could talk more about what we.
No, we can talk about that. I'm just saying that's like shitty chat.
Let's do a little bit of both.
All right, we're gonna talk about wedding, marriage, whatever.
Yeah.
But the reason why we're talking about this because Aaron, you were listening to what? What did you say?
I was listening to DJ Envy and Gia Casey's podcast about they have like a relationship/marriage podcast called The Casey Crew, and they are so open and very vulnerable on their podcast. And I really like it. And they were talking about their book that they have coming out. And I think I'm going to grab it for us to read together. But they were talking about some questions to ask yourselves, like with you and your spouse before you get married. And even if you are married, like they're good questions to consider. So one of the questions was, what does love mean? And I was just like, dang. Like,
it sounds simple, doesn't it?
It sounds simple, but it's also like, you express love so much that it's almost like you know what expressing love is to you, but like what does the actual word mean?
Right.
So that kind of like stirred up a little bit of our conversation. And baby, you hot. And we were gonna talk a little bit about that too.
So what does love mean?
It's actually a very loaded question because I feel like it can mean love can be like a feeling. Love is an action. It's an emotion. It can be in so many different forms, like companionship, just familial, friendly. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different ways that you can express and define and feel and do love, Yeah. So it's hard to like think of one concrete definition.
Yeah.
What do you think it means?
I have no idea either.
And it's crazy because you can know that you love somebody and you can know that you're even in love with someone, but it's like when it comes to verbalizing what that means.
That question was never posed to me or to us, I guess. But I think I would say, I don't want to say it's synonymous to like just work in general, because work is work, but love is work. But love is also other things than work. But I think I would say love is something that is unexplainable, but you just have to give it every day. Mm-hmm. Maybe like more of a growth thing, but yeah. I don't think you can really explain it because I think others would describe it something different, Yeah,
like everyone has their own take on what love is.
Yeah. So I think it's something you just have to give every day. So
you think it's more of a action? It's more of something that you have to give. It's something you have to do.
Yeah. I would say like a verb.
Okay, so what about right? Yeah. So what about like feeling love? Do you feel like love is also a feeling or an emotion?
I think too. When you give it every day, then if we're both giving love every day, then I'm feeling it from you. But and then individually, like if you're doing well, you think you're doing good, and you just loving where you are, you're loving yourself. You don't have to be in a relationship. Like, it's just, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think it's a direct definition. I don't think it's
Yeah, but how do you know it's
direct
love?
explanation.
Because like
Maybe the
those
feeling.
are all expressions of love. You
Maybe
know,
the
like
feeling you
doing
have.
things are an action that has first been like
Well, that's what
it requires some sort of a mentality.
right. But I think that's what I mean by like it's every day. It may not be a do. It may not be like something you do. It may not be something you feel. It could be a mental thing. I don't know. You know, that's what I'm saying. It seems unexplainable because it can be so many different things.
But do you think it's possible to love someone that you don't like?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does that type of love look like then?
As an example.
Yeah.
Say you're not getting along with your cousin or something. But if something happened to them and you're there, all that go out the window. You know what I mean? That comes from like the love you have for that person. As an example, I guess that's the clearest way to put it. You know, you may not necessarily like them in that moment, you know, to just sit there and hang with them or whatever the case may be. But if something was to go down, then none of that matter anymore.
I agree. I think that you can love someone without liking them necessarily, or even people who may have been in relationships and have maybe divorced or separated or whatever. Like,
yeah,
you
I
may
mean,
still
people
have love
kids
for
together
them.
and stuff.
Yeah,
it's kind of like you gave me my kids.
You can't
so.
just not, you know.
I mean, you can, but I guess.
You can, yeah.
But a lot of times, most people who maybe have children with one another, it seems as though like they still have
some
a
type
soft
of
spot
love
for that person. You know?
Yeah.
So I mean.
Okay, my last question is, well, if that's the case, do you feel like love is fleeting, or love is something that once you feel that towards someone or do that or whatever love actually at the core means to you, like, do you feel like love is fleeting? So like, can you stop loving someone?
I think you can stop loving someone.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you can. You can disregard someone from your life, I think. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I think it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done that, but I think I definitely think it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Depending on the severity of why you don't love, or you know, have put that person to the side for whatever reason, you know.
Yeah.
So.
I agree. Okay.
I just think it's unexplainable. You just got to give it every day.
I feel like it is, but it's saying it's unexplainable, kind of like a cop out for like trying to actually think like deeply about what.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to give the definition. To me, the definition is it looks different for everyone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, me and you might love each other a whole different way than John and Jane, whatever the alias names are.
Joe and Jane.
Joe and Jane. Whatever. You know what I mean? So. Like, they may have a different outlook on what it is to love each other. Like, things they do or feel may look totally different than the way, you know, we do. So
yeah, and then it's also not just love as companion, but like you love your parents, you love your siblings,
yourself.
You love yourself. Yeah, you love God.
There's different types of love.
Like, there's so many different ways that you can love. So
right. So. Yeah, I mean.
So what is something that maybe you have learned since we've been married, since we're about to go to a wedding?
Something I've learned.
Besides what love means.
I don't even think
I didn't know we had that
answer.
Yeah.
What have I learned? Sheesh.
How amazing I am. We can start there.
I think I already knew that, though. I've been doing that for the past 11 years.
How not annoying I am.
No, you're very... Oh, glad you brought that up.
Babe,
glad you brought that up.
I'm not annoying.
Aaron is so annoying. You know what? And I was trying to think of something cute. No, Aaron is so annoying. Like,
why would you say that?
That is
so not love.
That's love.
That's not
the fact
love.
that I'm dealing with it, that's love. I think we just got our definition.
Shut up.
Definitely. That's love. The fact that I'm dealing with you every day.
I'm wonderful.
Everything ain't always cute, pretty, or whatever, but yeah, Erin is definitely annoying. She definitely held that for marriage.
Babe, I didn't. Okay, yeah.
I'm not gonna get into that, but
like I am a very like can express myself, I don't care.
On a
Like
level,
you're
on a level
you're
that,
here. So I mean, there's nowhere else for you to go. Like I will burp as loud as I feel necessary. You guys saw that in our proposal vlog.
shit, that ain't even worse no more.
I am like I will talk to myself. I'm just very me, especially when I'm at home. So
Yeah,
yeah, he got that side of me once we got married.
instantly.
I think I may have, like, you may have seen bits of that. But not to the extent at which you do now.
Nah, this is all.
It's all new.
It's all new. Nah, I got none of that.
What have I learned? I think maybe something I learned about you is how I don't want to say how particular you are, but because I already knew how particular you were. But I have learned that you're kind of like, when things aren't necessarily going in the way that you planned or envisioned them,
Yeah.
like, you don't, I won't say you shut down, but you like have this sense of almost disappointment, and then you start to like try to hyperactivate like whatever it is that you thought we or you weren't doing as planned.
What does hyperactivate?
Like you try to like really go, like you really like are like, okay, I'm about to do this. Like, you know, I think it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but do you know what I'm saying?
Like, give me an example.
Like, okay, so we did this juice cleanse. And Cameron wanted to do the juice cleanse. It was his idea. He found the cleanse. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'm on board. Because, like, I have to be on board for stuff like this. Because Cameron's, he's not necessarily the type who's going to go to the grocery store, get all the produce, wash all the produce, put it through the juicer. Like, I mean, if he had to, he would. But he's so used to having me now that he just won't do it. Yeah. So I had to go to my mom's house to juice. And you were like, we're just juicing so late, and like you were like at the end you were like, we should have just started earlier, and like Cameron just kind of got like, I don't know, it's like you almost you had like a little bit of disappointment or like defeat inside. No,
not defeat.
And it was just like, I feel like you kind of get like that when things don't go as you've planned. Like,
that was a good example.
When he has a plan in his head, he like, that's how it has to go. Yeah. And so when things kind of fall off of that, like I feel like I'm still kind of trying to decipher like, how do I respond to that? Because I'm not like that. Like we tried our best. Like we did great, you know, like I'm fine with how the results were.
You know what? I think that's a good lesson for me is before you're married, if you ever decide to get married, whatever the case may be, for me as someone I'm just like super organized. It has to be some sort of plan. Like I very rarely go off on a tangent, or I'm not necessarily spontaneous.
No, you're not.
So like, and that's fine.
Maybe with small things, but
like, I mean,
not like
even when I surprise Erin, like it's very thought out. Yeah, like well before she even knows it's coming, like a month sometime.
Yeah, so to me it's spontaneous, but to him it's planned.
Yeah, I planned it. So I think the biggest thing is when you get married is, I think I'm trying to adjust to the fact that I have to account how she views time. Yeah. I view time as right then. So for the juice cleanse, we should have been starting early. Right. We were finishing very late in the day.
Yeah, we were.
To Erin, she's like, I mean, we did it. To me, I'm like,
I'm glad I made it this far.
To me, I'm like, well, this is not effective. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not how it's supposed to go. You know, and I look for results. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that the results that sometimes we should get based on if we don't go by the plan. Right. And it kind of felt like that because some days we didn't have enough juice or Or
well, that was the recipe's fault.
I know it was that. No, that was the recipe fault. That wasn't your fault. But you had to go to your mom instead of just juicing here and making it longer.
Yeah, but the juice, our juicer would have taken me days.
Not days. She's exaggerating.
It would have taken so much longer.
No, let me tell you how Aaron is. Aaron, so we could have definitely juiced in there, and it might have taken maybe another. I would have helped.
One time I juiced at my mom's house, so you didn't even get to see like how much faster it was.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't matter.
Her juicer. Wait. Let me explain.
I'm gonna say this because I know what you about to say. Her mom's juicer, they got so hype about, this is just...
No.
The juice still had poop in it.
No, baby.
Our juicer doesn't even have poop in it.
I know, but wait. Her juicer, you can literally put, like, the whole thing in the juicer at one time. It doesn't... you could literally put, like, a whole apple.
Anyway,
for our juicer, you have to cut it into small pieces and feed each one piece.
It might have taken a little longer. But if we would have got up at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning and did it, instead of going at 12...
Well, I didn't
that
go
would
at
have saved
12.
time. Yeah, so like around 11?
No.
Yes. When did you go?
Babe. I went at like 9. Yes,
the first day?
We started at like 10:30, 11ish.
No, you can't.
We started
one
at
day
like
you went
10,
to get
11.
your nails done. I had to come there and get my juice.
But I juiced before I got my nails done. Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. So, point is, for me, like, I have to also understand that, like, it's not my fault necessarily. Because Cameron, when he starts feeling like he's disappointed in something, like I feel like when we first got married, I would take that on as like, you're mad at me, or like I'm not doing good enough. And I'm like, I'm doing enough. Like, if he wanted it earlier, then you should have woke up at 5 a.m. and put it through the juicer.
So that's what I'm saying.
So like,
even that's the thing. Is like, even just last week or whatever, like, I'm trying to get to a point to where this has nothing to do with getting married or expecting a woman to ever do anything for me, but I did grow up in a way to all the women in my life, they cooked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have to just go fend for myself. Also, I stayed at home all through college until I got married.
Yeah.
So, like, I never really had to just go do something for myself. I feel like that's the only one thing that I guess the down thing, but I don't enjoy the kitchen. But now I'm like, okay, my thing is do it. It's kind of weird because it's like, well, I guess you got to do it too. I be feeling weird because I'm like, well, I guess you got to do it too. I don't want you to be feeling like
I got to do what to the juice cleanse
or whatever it is I decide to do. Like, you know, it's kind of. But
I want to do those things with you.
Yeah, but it's not the same way that I like to do it. You do it the way you like to do it.
Yeah, so I think it's just like, maybe one thing that we've learned is that obviously we operate differently more of a micro way. Yeah. Like, some of our overall tendencies are different. Yeah. And like our value systems in terms of like maybe time or like how we execute may be different. Yeah. But like our overall goals are very similar.
The same.
So like we have to figure out how to work together in that way. Not necessarily in our businesses, but like just in general like lifestyle. And it hasn't been like hard or anything. It's not like we get into arguments, but But I mean, it is something that like we go through as a new married couple.
Obviously, we're both conscious about it.
And those to me are more of the adjustments when you're married. Like, I guess to wrap this, because we have to get to this wedding because it's almost time. Yeah. Like, to me, the adjustments are not like, I feel like everyone says, if you don't live with someone before you get married, like, you don't know if they're messy. Like, they always use the messy and do they clean after themselves? Like, I need to be able to see that. Right. Like, to me, that is easy. Like, if it's that deep, if you found a spouse who the only issue they have is that they're messy, like, hire a housekeeper if you can't. Like, I mean, there are ways to work around things like that. Like, for me, I mean, that's everyone's different. Everyone loves differently. I'll go back to that. But to me, it's like, that's petty to me. That wouldn't be a reason for me to live with someone.
I wouldn't even call it petty. I feel like that's being led by what everyone else is saying.
Yeah, like
everyone has the same excuses.
To me, that's not a reason to, and maybe we can have an episode about this, but like that's not a reason to move in with someone. For me, that's not a reason why I would move into someone.
That would be good. We can talk about that on the next one.
What I would say is the things that we just talked about. Like beneath the surface, that if we weren't living together and doing a juice cleanse together, we would never really know.
Run into that.
Like those are the things that when you get married, like you start to realize, like, okay, like we have the same goals, we have all these things in common, but like, okay, like beneath the surface, these are the little things that we are different with. Yeah. And so it's been really fun. Like, I really love being married. Particularly, I really love being married to you. Come on now. But, you know, obviously, like, we're still, like, we learn things about each other all the time. So, yeah, I'm wishing anyone who is getting married thinking about getting married or is married, like, our motto is just the newlywed phase is our lifestyle. So we just keep that at the forefront, and we just try new things and do new things and like have fun and be, you know, just I feel like enjoy each other.
Think of it this way: new is good. You know, so you don't want to get to a point to where you're like, oh, we're old. Like we've been doing this for a long time. Then you're gonna start to. I feel as though you're gonna start to think that way. I mean, we did that already. No, let's go try it in a different way. Maybe. Yeah, we might have been doing this for 20 years, 30 years, but there's so many different ways to do different things. Yeah. So like this, keep it new, keep it fresh.
Keep it fun.
Keep it funky, you know what I mean?
And funky.
You know?
I said fun, but you said funky. Well, all right. Well, cheers to that. Even though I don't have anything left.
We're about to go to this wedding. Shout out to
we literally should have left 5 minutes ago.
So
shout out to Damo and Sekou. Congrats to the Watkins. All right. Bye. Oh, wait, leave us a comment if you are married or newlywed.
Or even thinking about it.
What is something that you have learned about your spouse?
Let us know. If you rock with me, then you rock with us. Y'all be easy.